you're going to start standing today. And have your dowels handy, as I said. We're going to place the dowel just in front of us. But before we do, I want you to feel nice and grounded. Ankles, knees, and hips are stacked. Spine is engaged. Core is engaged. We're nice and tall. As we inhale, think of sending your head a little closer to the ceiling. Growing a little taller through the spine. And as you exhale, let everything settle deeper into the mat. All four corners of the feet. Or if you like to think of it as a tripod, with your baby toe ball mound, your big ball mound, and the heel as 3 pivot points for you. And just root down with each exhale. Inhale, go tall. Exhale, settle. A couple more just like that. Big breath in. Exhale, settle. Now go ahead and start to relax through the shoulders. So bring those shoulders up towards the ears and then roll them back. Big circles. For 3. For 2. And then 1. Let them settle deep down into the back. And now again, we're going to bring those shoulders up towards the ears and roll them forward this time. For 3. For 2. And 1. Again, let them settle. Take a big breath in, grow a little taller. This time as you exhale, how close can those fingertips get to those knees? So we're actually rolling the shoulders away from the ears. And now go ahead and drop that chin heavy to the chest. Get a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Slowly drag that chin towards that right shoulder. Let's sit here for a few breaths. Get a nice stretch on the left side of the neck. Come on back through center. Again, keeping that chest and chin close. Take that chin to the left shoulder. But now back to center. Go ahead and take that chin away from the chest, as far away as you can as you send it to the heavens. Let that head get heavy. Have a big stretch to the front of the throat, the neck. Maybe that lower lip floats on top of the upper lip. Go ahead and allow that chin to come back to center. Big breath in with the next exhale. Go ahead and take that right ear a little closer to the shoulder. You've got some options here. You can imagine a big boulder underneath that left hand pressing down into that left hand. Or you can take right hand on top and gently encourage ear and shoulder closer together as we look for more length on the left side of the head. Go ahead and release that. Stack the spine. Take a big breath in, grow nice and tall, and on the exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Again, you decide whether it's hand to head or you're pressing down through that right arm. Find some more length on the right side of the neck this time. Go ahead and release that, stack the spine. Inhale, arms overhead, grow a little taller, big breath in. Grab the left wrist with the right hand, extend a little further, root down with the feet, grow tall on the spine, and on the exhale, lean to the right, send that left. Gaze is forward. Hips are square, so we're not twisting through the torso. Go up. Switch your clasp. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, take to the left. Exhale, release that. Go ahead and let the arms drop down. Put the hands on top of the thighs. Relax through the shoulders. Take a big breath in, go tall, and on the exhale, start to slide those hands down. Now again, there's no destination in sight. Take it to where you need to. If you want to bring your blocks here, by all means, it's our first forward fold. Be kind. We're going to linger here. And while we're here, let that head get heavy. And I want you to check in with the body, checking in with the joints, the muscles. How's your energy level this morning, headspace? Take a big breath in. Start to extend through the back, flattening out through the back, extending. Exhale, soften, bend. And again, really tune into what areas are tight. One more time. Inhale, extend through the back. Exhale, fold. And now slowly come on up. Just take note of how those legs felt and how far you were able to bend. We're going to come on up and we're going to start to roll out the right foot. So with the dowel in front of us, I want you to start by taking the dowel underneath the toes, pressing the toes firmly into your dowel to start, and then start to roll the dowel from heel to toe. You decide how much pressure you put on that foot. Don't be afraid to roll on the inside arch of the foot. Don't be afraid to roll on the outside lateral edge of the foot. What we're playing here now is with the fascia. And that fascia is that connective tissue that connects everything in the body. So even though we're working on our feet, we're starting to limber up everywhere. Let's do a few more rolls. This feels so good. There's a spot that needs a little more attention. Go ahead and linger there a little bit longer. Remember, your practice, your rules. I think I've been remiss in saying that for a while. Last one here. Go ahead and step off that dowel. Just notice how that right foot feels. When you're ready, take those left toes on the dowel. Press the toes heavily into the dowel to start. So we're curling around the dowel. Soften that knee. And then once again, we're going to start with our roll. You might find some crunchy bits underneath there. Again, making sure you roll from toe to heel. Taking time to get that inner arch. If you have high arches, this should feel particularly nice. And again, getting the outside edge of that left foot. And go ahead and come off that dowel. And now we're going to take all 10 toes. And we're going to place them on top of the dowel. We're going to press down. Now while we're rooting down, we're also rising up through the spine. There's that root and rise that you hear a lot. And we're slowly going to take little half-centimeter increments. We're going to start to walk ourselves over the dowel. And again, linger at any part that feels particularly good. Take it all the way to the heel, not in any rush. But when you arrive, just stay there for a bit. And make sure you have your ankles, knees, and hips all stacked. Root down through all ball mounds of the toes. Lift the toes up as high up as the mat as you can. And then start to place the toes back down on the mat, starting with the baby toes. And then working your way across to the big toe. Again, feeling grounded. Now this forward fold, you've got a little bit of extra space that you're rising. So if you want to grab your blocks, please by all means do so. Inhale, get tall. Grow a little longer through the spine. And on the exhale, take a bow. You'll notice you get probably a bit more of a stretch into the back hamstrings. Now we're going to try and tap into the hands a little bit more. So from here, start to float those hips back a bit. And see if you can engage a little bit more length into the back of the legs. And now slowly we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming up to a nice tall stacked spine. And then we're going to start to walk back from the heels towards the toes. Pressing down again with all 10 toes. Take a big breath in, grow tall. Exhale, take a bow. And again, blocks are nice and handy for us, so call on them anytime you need to. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold, bend the knees generously and step off the dowel. You can take it off to the side for now. I'm going to call on it again momentarily. Bend the knees generously so the torso is floating onto the dowel, floating onto your thighs, pardon me. Take your hands in behind you, interlace your fingers. Start to send those knuckles up towards the heavens. And maybe they roll forward towards the front of your mat. You feel a nice stretch into the shoulders here. And now start to straighten out through the legs. When you come to 90 degrees, start to stack the spine. Come on up. And now take your clasp the other way. So switching which baby fingers in front. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Send the knuckles down towards the mat. Open up through the heart. Big breath in. And then on the exhale, start to forward fold. So you decide if you want to soften your knees. No dowel this time. And again, let those arms get heavy as they come forward. And now slowly coming up. Take that right arm straight out, send it up to the heavens with the palm. We're going to take that hand in between the shoulder blades. So be mindful of the neck. We're just going to gently encourage that left elbow closer to the ear. Now, lots of options here. You can hold that hand to elbow. You can take your strap if you're working on a bind in between the hands. And if it's available to you, we're going to clasp our hands. But what you want to make sure that you don't do is put extra pressure on your head. So to avoid that, we're going to press back with our head into that right arm. Should feel a nice stretch into the tricep. Go ahead and release that. I'm going to switch it up. Take that left arm up, flip the palm, take it in between the shoulder blades. Now you'll notice that one side's going to be more receptive to the stretch than the other. So again, lots of options here. We crawl that left hand in between the shoulder blades as much as we can. Again, either hand to elbow, strap, or bind. Press the elbows back, press that head into the arm. And release. We're going to take those feet a little wider apart than hips. Now, if it's available to you, you can keep those hips in line with the knees and the ankles. But if you're tight, you're going to open that stance a bit wider, and you might even take the toes to the corner edges of the mat, your choice. We're going to come to full Malasana here, squat. So hands to heart center. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, take it down. Now, you can take a block underneath the tush if you'd like. You're going to press the knees into the shoulders. You're going to oppose that with the shoulders. So squeezing in, just waking up the hips a little bit more, waking up the quads a bit more. Hold here. And now with a little bit of grace, you can deliver those sit bones. You can use your hands if you need to, no clunking, right onto the mat. Extend those legs fully. Again, straps here if you need it. Take a big breath in, grow tall. Exhale, take a bow. So again, pay attention to how the legs are feeling, how the hips are feeling. And grow a little taller. We're going to come right into our number 4. So taking that right ankle onto that left thigh. You want to make sure that you're grounded through that left cheek. That knee is going to dictate where it goes. Options galore here. You can leave it hang and let gravity do its thing as we soon forward fold. You can take a block and press that knee into the block at any height. So whatever serves you best. Taking your strap on the arch of the bottom of that left foot. Grow tall, and on the exhale, find your back. So we're letting gravity do this thing. We're not forcing it. We're just trying to find a little bit more length in through the hips. And maybe with time, we start to feel a little bit more opening. Last breath here, come on up. We're simply going to take that right foot onto the mat, slide it as close to the left hip as you can with the sole of the foot on the floor. Snug that knee in a little closer first. Take the right hand behind you. Fingers point away. Inhale, left arm high. Inhale, get tall. And on the exhale, start to peek behind you as we take that left elbow to the knee. Find your stretch. Nice spinal twist here. Should feel delicious in the morning. And release. Come on back, extend that right leg. So if that strap is there, again, you can use it around both feet if you choose to. Inhale, grow tall. Big breath in, extend through the spine. Exhale, lead with the heart, forward fold. Maybe you're starting to open up some of the back here. Come right up and there's tall stack spine. Go ahead and take that left ankle onto that right thigh. So again, you're going to feel different from one side to the other. Make note of that. Again, no forcing it. Let gravity do its thing. Again, welcome to take that block should you care to. Strap if you need it. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, find your back. Now, often you're going to find that maybe the back of one hip is sore, the front of the other hip is sore because we often will compensate. So we start to displace our weight differently. So don't be surprised if you're feeling it completely different on this side. And now slowly stack the spine. Go ahead and take that left foot onto the mat. Slide it up as close to that right hip as you can. Snug that knee in. Grow a little taller. Take that left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm high. Big breath in. Exhale, find your twist. And release. Come back to center. This time, take the legs straight out. So again, in line with the hips. We're going to take our hands. Fingers going to point forward, palms on the mat. Underneath the shoulders, stack nice and high. Engage the core. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, up go the hips. Feet towards the mat. Heart to the heavens. Hold here. Reverse plank. Breathe. Last breath here. Go ahead and take it down. Once the sit bones arrive to the mat, inhale, grow tall. Big stretch. Exhale. Then we're going to make our way all the way down to the mat. So again, core is engaged. Take it slow. Delivering each vertebrae to the mat with control. The closer you get, the more core engagement you're going to need. Have your dowel and have your blocks handy. And then when the entire spine arrives on the mat, we're going to go ahead and float those knees to the chest. Give yourself a little rock and roll. And you already know this, but the closer the knees are to the chest, the higher up on the spine that massage is. The more we float those knees away from the chest, the more we take that stretch and massage down the spine. Now come on back to center. Feet are on either side of the torso. So our knees are on either side of the torso. Feet toward the hip. And we're going to clasp the edges of the feet or the ankles or your strap, and you're gonna find a happy baby. Take it to a roll. Maybe extend through one leg, extend through the other leg. And come on back to center. We're gonna go ahead and take those feet back onto the mat. But before we find our bridge pose, we're gonna reach for one block. We're gonna take that block in between the thighs. We're gonna squeeze that block like we want to break it. We're gonna imprint through the small of the back, arms alongside the body to help with balance. Imprint. And I want you to think of that little J, so we're bringing the navel back towards the spine and up slightly. So we're not pushing out, we're pulling up. And now we're gonna start to take that spine off the mat. One vertebrae at a time, squeeze the block like crazy, send the hips towards the heavens. Keep the neck straight, we're weight bearing. Root through the feet, send those hips a little higher. Engage the inner thighs, engage the glutes, engage the core, hold here. Squeeze that block like you're gonna break it. Slowly deliver the spine back down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time with control. Relax the spine, let the natural curvature of the spine come back. So there's that little arch that will go in the small of the back. Imprint once again, flatten out that area. We're already tilting up go the hips, and take each vertebrae off the spine, off the mat, one at a time, leave it on your spine. Root down through the feet, send the hips a little higher, squeeze that block a little more, engage the glutes, hold here. Slowly come on down. We're going to take those knees above the hips, block is still there. Arms can be anywhere you like. They can be in a V, a T, or a stop sign. They're just for balance. Keeping the hips nice and square with the knees, you're going to take the knees off to the right. Let them hover. Come on back. To the left. Let them hover. Come on back. Right. Should feel a nice stretch into the spine as we work the legs, work the core, the obliques. We got a few more. It's really important to keep those shoulder blades grounded. They're going to want to pull up and go to the opposite side for sure. Don't let that happen. And you'll notice if you push your shoulder blades into the mat a bit more, you're engaging your obliques a little bit more. Last one to each side. Back to center. Come on back. Take the feet back down onto the mat last time. Imprint. We're going to take that spine up off the mat. Hips to the heavens. Squeeze that block, root through the feet, send those hips a little higher. And if you'd like this time, maybe you want to roll the outside of your shoulders and interlace your fingers underneath your tail as we root through the heels and open up a little bit more. Should feel a nice stretch through the pecs as well. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly let those hips come back to the mat. And now taking that block away, we're going to have that dowel handy. Extend through the legs, or if you prefer to keep the knees bent, you're welcome to do that too. Yogi's choice. Take right hand over left, take the left arm over right. Holding onto the shoulders, imprint through the hips, small the back, the sit bones, up goes neck, head, and shoulder. Of course, engage just a little bit. Take it to a little roll from side to side. So already some shoulder release momentarily. And now back to center. Float the head back down just so we can switch it up. So we're gonna take the left arm underneath the right arm on top. So again, holding on to the shoulders, imprint first, up goes neck and shoulders, take it to the roll. Drift a nice massage in between the shoulder blades, starting to work on some of that tension release. And then come on back to center, relax neck, head, and shoulder. We're gonna reach for our dowel. We're gonna take that dowel underneath the spine. So really important that you're not on your hip girdle. So your dowel is gonna be above the hip, to the right of the spine, so it's not on the spine, underneath that right scapula, and the head is gonna be alongside the dowel. So you're not having the dowel underneath the spine or on the head. And you want it above the hip girdle so you don't poke yourself. So roll off to the left slightly and align your dowel. Feel that dowel underneath your scapula. And now press down so you feel that you're comfortable. Take that arm straight up, spread the fingers. So you can keep your knees bent or straight, yogi's choice. Root down that shoulder blade so that you can feel your scapula wrapping around the dowel. And obviously it doesn't because it's bone, but you get what I'm saying. So we're underneath that little point. Start to make little circles on the ceiling. And those circles can get bigger. So I understand that there might be some discomfort, but it shouldn't hurt. If it hurts, realign your dowel or remove it completely. Take a break, send the hand in the opposite direction. And now go ahead, again, wrapping that shoulder towards the mat, around that dowel, send that arm straight out, palm faces up. And now start to play with where that arm is. So take those fingers towards the toes and then towards the head. But really extend through the arm like you're reaching for something that's far away. And maybe you find a sweet spot. So an area where you want to linger, you're more than welcome to do that. Let's do one more here. So you're just hovering. And now go ahead and take that arm straight up again, making sure that arm is wrapped around the dowel and start to take those fingers towards the left. So again, there's that reach. And now again, sending those fingers hovering towards the front of the mat, top of the mat, back of the mat, off to the left. So again, there's that big reach. You're still pressing down. Let's do one more, up and down. And now take that arm straight up, spread the fingers. Start to send that thumb straight back. And when you get here, see if you can reach a little bit more. Now, you can take the hand completely on the mat. You can have it hover, whatever feels right. You should feel a bit of a release through the neck, to the shoulders. We'll hold here. And now bring that arm up, put it back down. We're just going to roll enough so that we can take the dowel from the right side to the left side. So again, stay away from the hip girdle. Stay away from the spine. Have your head alongside the dowel. And then again, really wrap that shoulder blade around the dowel. So we're going to start by taking that hand straight up. And then little circles. So you might notice right away, one side's a little tighter than the other. Could be the way you sleep, could be the way you carry yourself throughout the day. But we're not very symmetrical creatures. Take a little pause here, send it the opposite direction. Now take a little bit of a pause once again, start to float that arm out so it's hovering. Big reach to the left. And again, start to play with where that thumb goes. Towards the front of the mat, hovers maybe towards the feet. Take it slow. You might just find an area that needs a little bit more love. You might want to linger there. Now, if you're doing this on your own and one side is a little bit more sensitive or needs a little bit more time, you don't have to spend the exact amount of time on each side. So we're going to go ahead and float that arm straight up, wrapping the dowel around, or wrapping the arm around the dowel, and then send that arm to the right. Big reach. And again, we're hovering. Last one here. Come on up once again, stack the arm, wrap that shoulder around the dowel, spread the fingers, send that thumb back. Big reach. And now go ahead and bring that arm up, relax the arm, roll to the right, take that dowel away. Have it handy. We're going to take those knees to the chest one more time, take it to a little rocking roll. Now take those knees closer to the chest this time so we're massaging towards the upper back. Because we just did all that. Release should feel really nice. And come on back to center. Go ahead and extend those legs straight up. Now we're not going to use our hands for this. We're going to engage the lower core, a little bit of work here. We're going to start to float the hips up and send the knees towards the shoulders with control. So if we use our hands, we're taking the engagement of the core away. So again, bringing the knees forward like a reverse crunch, up with control and back down for 10, 9, 3, 2, last one. Come on back. Go ahead and soften the heels towards the sit bones. We're going to roll shoulder to tail. We're going to come on up to a neutral tabletop. For 3, for 2, and 1. Come on up. Arms stacked, knees are underneath the hips. Right into your cat-cow. So tops of the feet are heavy on the mat. Inhale, find length through the belly as we lift the tail, we lift the gaze, pushing down with the hands. Exhale, chin to chest, tuck the tail, puff back. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. And while we're here, we're going to come back to a neutral table. Inhale, right arm high, big reach to the heavens. Exhale, thread it underneath the left. Press that ear and shoulder into the mat. Extend through those left fingers. Right fingers can be on the mat. You can extend that left leg back, so left fingers can be on the mat, or you can send that left arm up, or wrap it around the waist, and we're opening up to the edge of the mat. Get a nice stretch here. Do that right lap, that right shoulder. Again, taking it a little deeper. And release that. Come on back to center. While we're here, let's do a cat-cow. Big breath in. Exhale. Let's switch things up. Inhale, left arm high. Big reach. Exhale, send it through. Once again, you decide what you need to do with the right side of the body to find the stretch you're looking for. And release, come back to center. One cat-cow. Exhale. And now we're going to walk the hands back. We're going to come onto our knees here. We're going to reach for a dowel. You're going to take that dowel in behind the knees. You're going to snug it nice and tight. Tops of the feet are on the mat, and we're going to start to sit back. Now, what I want you to avoid is leaning forward, so that's where we have our blocks here. We're going to sit back as much as you can, and the arms are going to take the weight off the legs if it's too much. Now, some of you already know your knees don't like this. If you don't like this, options are hero pose, or you can come up to a standing position and stretch out your quads that way where you're bringing your heel towards your buttocks. This is releasing some of the fascia. So if you can do it, it's a great little release for them. So again, you decide how much pressure or weight you are allowing, but you should feel some release through the back of the calves as well as the back of the hamstrings. Now we're going to come up off the dowel and we're going to roll it a quarter of a turn. We're going to sit back down. So you'll notice that there's certain areas that will be a little bit more uncomfortable than others. That's natural. See if you can settle with each breath. On each exhale, soften just a little bit more. Okay, come on up. Another little quarter turn. So what ends up happening if you're not using your blocks for a nice stacked spine, we start leaning forward, we dump on the lower back. So we're undoing all the good that we are doing. We don't want to do that. Blocks can be at any height. We're also giving your arms a bit of a workout actually. Come on up once again, another quarter turn, sit back down. Now maybe at one point you'll be able to release the weight completely off the hands, maybe not, that's okay. Last time, come on up, another quarter turn. Sit back down. Ooh. You can see you can take a dowel underneath the desk or underneath your sofa and you can roll at your feet at any time. The rest of it, probably best to be done on a mat. Last time, last quarter turn, should be at the end of the calf muscle here. Try and sit evenly on both legs. If one area is a little more sensitive, you might be lifting the other cheek up to relieve that tension. Don't let that happen. Try and stay balanced. Last breath here. Come on up all the way. Take the blocks towards the front of your mat. Take the dowel away. Walk the hands forward, curl the toes under, send the hips up. First downward dog, walk it out. Notice how the back of those legs are feeling. I'm going to hold here. Pedaling it out. And now root all 10 toes into the mat. Lift the heels up as high as you can. And now start to send those heels back. And how close can they get? Can you wake up those calves even more? And now, ladies, when you're ready, I want you to float forward and plunge your plank. Engage the core, extend through the spine. Welcome to take it to your knees. Welcome to take it to your forearms. We're only holding for a minute today. By the way, that's halfway. I want you to think of sending that navel to the spine, extending through the head, sending the heels back. Lots going on. We're not just hanging out. Almost there. Three, two, and one. Send the hips back down the dog. And walk it out. Ladies, inhale, right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, send the knee towards the nose. Step that right foot through. Take that left knee down onto the mat. Again, nice tall stack spine. I want you to really root down through that knee. Take the hands to that right thigh. Pressing through that right heel, send the hips forward. Find that juicy stretch in front of that flexor. Now, if you find that your knee is floating too far forward, take a wider step with that right foot. If you find that you're collapsing through the core and the spine, you've got your blocks handy so you can come upright as well. Still the same motion, still rooting through the knee, still sending the hips forward. Yogi's choice. Now float those hips forward. So notice how that hip feels first. And now float those hips back. Heel toe that right foot forward. Send that right hip back. Don't let it pop out. Soften the heart over that right leg. Notice how the hamstring feels. Root through that heel. Press it into the mat. Extend through the spine and soften. There's the stretch. If it's available to you and you like to do the splits, we're going to come into monkey pose. Hips are nice and square. Again, don't let that right hip pop out. We're extending and we're softening. Holding here. And now we're going to take the hands to the mat, take that knee underneath the hip, curl the toes under, find your downward dog once again. Getting ready to switch up for the other side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Step on through, take that right knee to the mat. Once again, nice tall stacked spine, either hands to blocks or thigh. Root down through that knee, root down through that heel. Float the hips forward. So we're shining the front of the hip, that right hip, towards the floor, towards the mat. Opening up. Sometimes we get a little impingement in there. This should feel really good. Take it to wherever it makes sense. Engage the core so we don't dump on that lower back. So again, navel's back. And now relax that. Square the hips back. Heel toe that left foot forward. Heel into the mat, toes to the shin. We soften. So again, hands can be on blocks or hands can be on mat. But don't, again, jut that left hip out. Energy is straight back. We're pressing into the mat and we're extending. And again, if you like, if it's available to you, and if it feels good, we'll take it to the splits or monkey pose. But don't compromise your stretch by starting to open up to the right. You want to keep square and hold. And then once again, we're going to walk the hands forward, take that knee underneath the hips, curl the toes under, up the hips, go downward dog, walk it out. Take a big breath in on the exhale. We float forward, find chaturanga. First, we're in plank. You can't chaturanga safely. Knees go down first, and then take the belly to the mat. Uncurl the toes, hands alongside the chest. Inhale, baby cobra. Wrap the elbows back, shine the heart forward. Press the hips into the mat. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Release that. We'll do that 2 more times. You can come up progressively higher each time if you like. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, come on up. Don't let those elbows splay. They're nice and tight. Heart is full and forward, shoulders are relaxed and sliding down the back. Don't undo all that good work we did. Come back down. Last time, big breath in on the exhale. Come on up. Find that stretch. You should feel a nice opening through the hips too. And release, come on down. Once again, we're going to take the hands in behind the back, interlace our fingers, zip those legs up to close together as if we had one tail. Big breath in, imprint through the hips, pull up the feet, pull up the heart, send the knuckles back, hold here. So we're strengthening all the erector spinae, all those little muscles that support the spine. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Relax the hands. You can stack them underneath the forehead if you like, bend the knees, and just windshield the legs back and forth. Go ahead and extend those legs straight back. These are going to come onto our right side. So forearms on the mat, shoulders underneath the elbow. We're coming to a low side plank. Extend through the legs. When you're ready, up go the hips. We hold. Almost there. Go ahead, come on down. We're just going to switch it up. Turn to face the front of the mat. Take that left elbow of the mat underneath the shoulder. Forearms on the mat, palms on the mat, arms, legs are extended. When you're ready, rooting down through that hip and the toes, and now up on the hips. We hold. And come on down. This time I want you to come onto your knees. Take them as wide as the mat, big toes together. Send the hips back. Find your child's pose. Extend the spine and soften. And now start to walk the hands back. We're going to come onto our sit bones, ladies. Send the legs straight out. Have your blocks handy. We're going to call them again. Inhale, grow nice and tall. Exhale, deliver the spine to the mat one vertebrae at a time with control. And when the entire spine arrives on the mat, I want you to bend those knees and take those feet as wide as your mat. Relax through the shoulders and the head. Go ahead and send the knees to the right. So try and press that left knee into the mat while keeping the shoulders nice and secure. If you like, you're welcome to take that right foot to rest on top of that left knee. Again, there's that opening through that left hip. Let's hold here. If you like it, it feels okay in the neck, take the left ear to the mat. Hold. If the foot is on the knee, slide it off. Take the knees back up to the heavens and then just windmill the legs back and forth a couple times. Last time. And now, sending the knees in the opposite direction. So we're taking it to the left. If you start on the other side, just make sure you're evened out. Turning that hip to the heavens. Shoulders are nice and heavy. Again, we'll have to take a foot on top of that knee. Finally. And again, if it feels right in the neck, take the right ear to the mat. Easy, go let that right thumb will hold. Last breath here. Head comes back to center. Take that foot off the knee if it is. Once again, feet are on the mat, as wide as the mat. Windmill the legs back and forth. And now take the feet back in line with the hips. We're going to come up onto our arms just so that we can take our blocks and we're going to take our dowel. So the blocks are going to go on either side of the head at any height. So you might want to start with them a little bit lower and you can adjust if needed, but that's probably going to be good for most people. You're going to take the dowel across the block and you're going to make sure that the dowel sits in that little divot of the head. So if you were to feel your head, there should be a little divot where the roundness starts to flatten out and then it meets the neck. So that's where you want the dowel. You'll know awfully quickly if it's in the wrong spot because it won't feel nice. So we just make our way down and then we adjust the dowel so that it's sitting underneath that divot. Now, I like to keep my knees bent here. I got a little bit more control over how heavy I let my head get on the dowel. Or you can extend them, it's your choice. Or you can walk the knees as wide as your mat and just let the knees collapse. So we're getting a nice stretch on the outside of the hips at the same time. So let that head get heavy. And then just take that chin forward and back. A few times, a little roll here, releasing tension in the neck. If this doesn't feel good, by all means, don't do it. We don't do anything that doesn't feel good for the body. Everyone's bodies are different. And if it just feels good to let that head get heavy and rest there, that's another option. Again, staying where you are, taking right ear towards the mat, towards the dowel. Nice and slow through center, left ear towards the dowel. Back again. Just a few nice gentle rolls. And again, if you want to linger on one side more than the other, that's fine. Come on back to center, let that head get heavy. Just rest here. While we're here, I want you to take a quick scan of the body. How are you feeling now versus when you first came into class? Checking in with muscles and joints. Last breath here. We're going to separate the knees and we're going to take the arms alongside the body and slowly come up so that we can take the dowel away this time. But we're going to keep the blocks there because we're going to adjust them. We're going to take one block in between the shoulder blades, one block to support the head. So quite often flatter in between the shoulder blades and just a little bit higher for the head. So we're going to take that block and that block is going to be right around broad height. So your shoulder's going to wrap around and that head's going to be supportive. You feel strong. Again, knees can be bent or straight, yogi's choice. Extend the arms out and then let the shoulders get heavy so they were opening up again to the shoulders and the pecs. Let the head get heavy. Bring the soles of the feet together. It doesn't matter how close those heels are to the torso, you decide. You want to be comfortable. And then just let everything feel grounded, let everything settle into the mat. We're going to come into some breath work here. We're going to inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel the lungs, feel the belly. Hold that fullness. And then exhale with 4, 3, 2, 1. Feeling the shoulders drape even more around the block. Feeling the hips get a little heavier into the mat. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, ladies, you are welcome to stay where you are. If you want to get a little bit more comfortable, we're going to set up for Shavasana. You're going to bring your legs together, take the hands to the outside of the thighs, bring the knees together. Welcome to stay where you are, but if you fancy, go ahead and lift the torso and just take the blocks away. Take the spine back down onto the mat. So flatten out through the spine, let that spine get nice and heavy. And if you like some support underneath the legs, start to take the legs towards the corners of the mat, each side, and then take the blocks underneath the thighs or the knees so you feel really grounded through that lower back. Now, if that's not comfortable for you, find your happy place on your mat. Coming into your breath. We say that, but we're always into our breath. I want you to see if you can melt into your mat just a little deeper with each exhale. Letting the natural rhythm of the breath return, but really focusing on the exhale. Let the hips get a little heavier, maybe those feet get a little heavier, maybe those shoulder blades get a little heavier, maybe that noggin gets a little heavier. Maybe that jaw starts to relax, maybe the mouth opens a little bit. Maybe the forehead softens a bit more and those eyes melt a little deeper into their sockets. And then you're sitting back, letting the breath do its work and letting the body absorb all the good of your work today. Settle. Ladies, we're slowly, kindly, gently going to start to bring some awareness back to the body. Introducing a movement that feels good, without haste. Maybe rolling onto one side and settling for a breath or two. But in your own time, if and when you're ready, find a way to a comfortable seated position. The stacked spine, relaxed shoulders, hands to the heart, a bow to that heart in gratitude. Always grateful for our time on the mat and our time together. I honor the place in you where the whole universe resides, and when you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. Namaste.